Hi guys, it's me Val, Toxic Free. Thanks for joining me today. Can I just start by thanking all my subscribers? I hit 700. I really appreciate that. I didn't think I'd get to this. I didn't. I started off moaning about my ex Stumpy, and that's all it started with. So I didn't really know where I was going with this channel, but no, I appreciate thanks. So anyway, this video, I've done loads of videos on different stuff. Sometimes I read stuff out, sometimes I just research, and sometimes I ad-lib and waffle, but this one I've written down. I like writing stuff down, I just don't like reading them because I can never read back my own writing. It's basically about how it's difficult to explain the feeling of narcissism. Someone asks you, it's hard to explain. You can't. It's a feeling. So, I've got a poem at the end as well, so stick with me. I'll read that. Okay. I'm looking for it now. Scrolling. The feeling of narcissism. It's a feeling you will only share with other survivors. We've kind of joined a group that only we know exists. We never chose to be in this group. Narcissism was thrust upon us. We never knew this world, this community, but now we're here. We will share, we will heal and embrace the position we find ourselves in. We learn, we fight and we heal, and we'll help each other with the experiences that we've had. We are not disordered like we're told. They are the disordered ones. We help each other out of this trained way of thinking. This is where the empath, this is why we are empaths. We've walked in each other's shoes. Living and loving a narc is a life that's unrealistic. It's the hardest thing to describe to others, to those who have not been in our shoes. It's a feeling no words can describe. So what's it like to be in a narcissist relationship? How can we explain this to the world, the non-believers? How do we describe narcissism? This is my experience, my description and my views from the inside of being in the world of a narc. I was on a path, my path. The direction was my choice. A path of reality, my reality. I held all my answers. I had control of my decisions that I made on what was in front of me, the truth and the lies of which I thought I could see. Life was real. The world around me was real, solid. It was mine. Everything I did was based on my choices about real things, on reality. The people I met, the plans I had, the world around me. My friends were my friends. My family knew who I was. My life was my own. Until I fell down the rabbit hole and met a covert narcissist. Not just any old narc. A covert, an undercover, devious, manipulating. A shapeshifter. A wolf in sheep's clothing. The narcissist turns your world upside down without your knowledge. They shape your world, they create your actions through manipulation. They lead you off on a windy path, down a road, without your permission, without remorse, and without your consent. They lead you somewhere you never knew existed, a path never experienced before. A path, a game, with no instructions of how to play. Oh, they have the instructions, but they choose to keep it to themselves. A path lined with red flags. But these red flags are only noticed and only seen once you've reached the end of the nightmare and looked back. The world is now their world. They will direct you from here on. No good fighting. You don't know you need to. You live your life under their rules. But they don't give you the rule book. Your decisions are made on their false actions. Your actions are made on their false plans. Your plans are made on their fake future. And your fake future is based on their fake love. Your trust is a weakness for them to take advantage of. And your emotions are owned by them, manipulated and played with. Your insecurities are used against you, and your colours are turned to grey. Your self-confidence drained. All this is done in such a way that you don't see it. They use our faults against us as excuses for the abuse. Their lies are camouflaged in love, and your love is squandered. Lies aren't lies like you've ever known. These lies are new lies. These lies are on steroids. Your relationship issues are all your responsibility. It's not me, it's you, because you're so needy. You've got issues. You're too emotional. And we know these things about us, and we blame ourselves for a while until we start to see a pattern occurring, and we don't feel right. They confuse us with their lies, and we don't know who's to blame. We either leave or get discarded. But now we know who they are, and the research starts to kick in. Looking back, we put the puzzle together. All the pieces fit. They are toxic, and we were a character in their play. With most breakups, you come out of the other side pretty much unscathed. You come out pretty much how you went in, except for the pain of losing someone you loved and who loved you. Whatever the reason, you're not changed. The world is still there, where it's always been. Your thoughts are pretty much the same, your friends are the same, and your family understand and support you on an experience that they probably had. Life goes back to normal after a while, after tearing up the photos, blocking them on Facebook, and binning their clothes that are left in the drawer next to your bed. Your heart is broken, but it will mend. The discard by a narc, yes, discard. Well, now that's different. The whirlwind, the tunnel, the upside down world. The world is now different. It's changed forever. See, narc relationships take away your faith in humanity. Your trust and honesty you've always valued becomes a curse. Your empathy, your love, and your willingness to see all the good in people is now somehow damaged. All your honesty and trust is used to gain access to your soul. We were soulmates, well, we thought, but on leaving they took our souls with them. It's been sucked out, spat on the floor and stood on. Which, by the way, is now why we feel so hollow and empty. Your good is now bad. All the things you once valued in yourself have been ripped away. You see life in a completely different way. You're left naked of what you were. You were reborn to somehow find yourself and put yourself back together. Find the pieces of you and somehow rebuild who you once were. You're in a new world, a parallel universe. You walk amongst the living, but you know that something that they don't. You've learned something and no one else knows your hell. Living with a narc, your decisions were based on their false reality. Your future was false. They created the world around you. They created the acts of love and had power over decisions that you made. On lies, not truth. Your decisions for the time that you were together were based on fakeness. They directed your actions based on lies and manipulation. And your love. Your life, it's all been scripted by the puppet master. See, when you find out what they are, and we realise that our time with them was scripted, we know that we were the puppet. We were their supply. We supplied love, so they could give us false love back. We supplied drama, created by them, for them to be able to throw back in our faces, blaming us. We supplied them with anger, which they created, for them to call us angry. We supplied them with craziness, which they created for them to smear us with. Whatever they wanted, they created. We supplied the reaction. We were supply. So now, when we go into our future, with the past betrayal, we are left with the fears we will get over one day, maybe. And after, when the fog clears, we feel we will never truly be loved again, or never love again. We feel we will never trust again, and we feel we will never hear the words, I love you, without being triggered. We will never hear you're the one, and ever really believe it. I love you will be smiled at, and not returned. All these things that you feel, they will fade in time, but the fairy tale of love has been tainted. Love is now a dirty word. Fuel is not something you put in your car, or use to heat your house in winter. A red flag is no longer a rough sea warning. A grey rock is no longer a combination of minerals from the earth's crust. A Hoover does not only clean your carpet. And toxic is not only just a Britney Spears song. You leave a narc relationship a different person. After narcissism, you are reborn into a new world. You are stronger. You are more empathic, you are wiser, and we know monsters exist. We educate ourselves, work on ourselves to become better people. We are safer now, as we've educated ourselves, and we'll never let it happen again. We have more friends, true friends, from channels and groups. We were victims, we're now survivors, and we will rise. We are now a narc's worst fucking nightmare. So I've written a poem. They say that we are perfect, but make you feel flawed. They say that you are funny, but then act like they are bored. You trust them with your issues. You tell them all your shame. Then they go and use your demons for their petty sordid gain. They say they'll protect you, but ignore you when you cry. They tell you they are honest, but then they go and lie. They talk about your future, but then fail to commit. They start off so damn perfect, but then they turn into a tit. They go buy you a diamond ring. They tell you it's brand new. You look at the engraving and it says, "To my love, Sue." They go write you a love song with a little red heart doodle. Then you check their history. They copy it off Google. Inside them is a demon, been there since they were born. They say you're the best lover, and they go and start watching porn. They like all of your values. They mirror all these things. They take you up to heaven and then they clip your wings. They love all of your colours and then they turn you to grey. They say you're a free spirit, then they force you to obey. The dark side or the light side? Which one side is the true? They tell you it's not me, my love, the dark side's 'cause of you. They see that you are drowning, they say they cannot swim. You take them to the ocean and they go and jump straight in. Living with a toxic is gaslight in the dark. They come into your life and then they go put out your spark. But life will get much better. We rise up from the flames. We've suffered from their hell, we now know their stupid games. Keep fighting, keep on smiling, and go and rise above, 'cause no one in this world, my friend, will ever take your love. I hope you enjoyed that. It's like story time with Val. Okay, guys. Thanks again for everything. I'll go now. Stay safe.